In the last year, I've discovered some weird ways that have allowed me to use AI to make work feel so much more fun, so much more easier to look forward to, and much closer to a video game or a sport. And the first way that I do this is that every time I need to do something, I need to do a work task or some sort of good habit, I go to AI and I have it jumpstart the task for me. One of the biggest differences between work and video games is that video games are so much easier to start. The idea of a video game is like, okay, it's like fun. I just boot up the game and then I'm instantly rewarded. When you think about doing it, you just want to do it. But with work, when you think about it, it just seems so high barrier, so high effort, and you have to get yourself to have the willpower to overcome that big barrier at the start. But when you use AI, when you go to it and you have it jumpstart the task, it makes that barrier go away completely. And so I have an advertising agency, and one of my clients, I usually have to make ads for them every week for a webinar or some sort of new campaign. And instead of starting with a blank Google Doc, I actually go to AI and I just tell it exactly what I need to do. I just tell it exactly all the context that I have on the situation. I'm like, okay, we got to make ads for this marriage webinar. These are the details. These are the landing page that we have to send them to. And then AI just starts the task completely. And it doesn't mean that I'm just going to copy everything it says and just use that for the ads. Sometimes I do. But it means that I just start from the canvas that it starts at, from the ads that it drafted, and I'm able to iterate and then go from there. But the second way that I use AI to make work feel a lot more fun and enjoyable is when I'm in that process of making ads, and the next step from there is to iterate on it, to go through and edit the copy, to actually make the visuals and then edit the visuals. When I'm in the middle of doing that task, I actually go back to AI and I report my progress to it. And so I'll take screenshots of the ads, I'll take screenshots of whatever I've written, whatever I've done, and I'll throw that back into AI, and then I'll tell it, yo, I did this. I made this change. I changed this edit. What do you think? And what AI tends to do in these situations is it celebrates you. It sees the progress that you made, and it'll mirror back and it'll be like, wow, this was a great thing that you did because of this reason, this reason. For the ads, it's going to tell me like, yeah, that was a good edit on there. Like, this is going to get a lot more clicks. Good job. And what this allows you to have is a partner in crime during the work that you're doing. And I know it sounds like weird and kind of futuristic, like this AI companion that you have, but in the moment of work, this actually allows you to keep building momentum. Because what ends up happening is you do a task, you get started with it, and maybe you accomplish something, but then your energy sort of dips after you get something done. But when you keep reporting to AI back and forth, it'll keep you going and it'll keep the momentum up. And I use this in advertising, I use this in building my app, and you can do this with any habit that you have, even if it's not a laptop task. You can just talk about what you're doing in real life, like if it's a workout, like if it's building something with your hands. And the final way that I've found that you can use AI to make work feel so much more fun and enjoyable is by creating digital spaces, almost like quests or almost like creating this video game of your own life. And the way that I used to do this is I would go into GPT or Claude and I would set up different projects. And in these projects are almost like folders of different chats that you can have. And I would only talk about specific projects or a specific client work or my app in these different projects. And this allows the context of whatever you're doing to stay in that specific place. And so you can keep going back to the same chats. And to ground this more practically, like if I was making ads for that webinar that I was talking about earlier, I actually have gone back to the same chat for the last 4 months for this client to make ads in that same place. And so I've already thought about what ads that I want to make, or I've already thought about, what the end result, what the best outcome is here, and it's stored in that chat, in that project. And so when I'm doing the same thing, I can actually go back to that same project, and then it already knows what I've already thought of. And so what this allows you to do is it just makes your laptop and your work feel a lot more customized to yourself. And I used to do it in GPT and Claude, but actually in the app that I'm building right now, you can see the landing page behind me, I created a much more like custom place for this, where you have these things called spaces that learn about your goals and learn about what you're trying to do, so that the AI is more with you and trying to help you reach your goals. And this is more of what I do now. And this just makes work feel more fun, because it's like, okay, I'm working on the app, I'm gonna go to that space, I'm gonna go to that project. Oh, I'm working on YouTube, let's just go to these chats. And you already have an AI that's loaded up with all the work you've been doing. And so it just removes all this barrier, all of this friction, because AI can just get started for you. AI already remembers what you've been doing. And work just feels so much more fun and more easy to get started, which overcomes that resistance barrier that most of us face. So go try this yourself with some of these, and I promise work will feel a lot different than normal. And now you can even do it with voice. You don't even have to type into these tools. So give it a try. Let me know if it works, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.